Hi there everyone, this is GoPlay Chronicles. Today, we'll be delving into Dimensionals, a game we just had to make a video about after playing the demo on Steam. As part of our eternal quest to connect games with gamers, we'll be giving you an overview to help you decide if this might be something that's a good fit for you. Dimensionals is an upcoming turn-based game by Mino Games, a studio known for their collectible character games such as Mino Monsters, a Pokemon-esque game for the iPhone released back in 2011. Dimensionals is a story-focused roguelike RPG that takes inspiration from Pokemon, Marvel Snap, and Slay the Spire. Dimensionals is an audiovisually stunning game with a well-defined aesthetic inspired by Saturday morning cartoons and comics. The demo starts off with a prologue complete with a popping techno tune, animated opening cinematic, and character introductions that really sells the experience they're going for here. But it's not just the opening that impresses. The production quality shines throughout the entire gameplay experience. The UI, visuals, and music come together beautifully, setting this game apart from other roguelike turn-based titles. Behind this colorful and alluring surface lies a game that is addictive and fun to the core. The main gameplay loop of Dimensionals is simple but ripe with choices. Select 3 characters for your team, choose a starting bonus, pick between combat encounters, get relics, abilities, and potions, combine duplicate abilities and change your team setup, and ultimately make your way and fight the boss at the end of an act. Each character comes with a unique set of 20 abilities known as equips, which you can unlock and add to your arsenal. Each character begins with 1 passive ability and 3 equip slots, which can expand during the run. You can even equip abilities from other characters on your team. Duplicate equips can be combined together for more powerful equip. The game features an escalating energy system similar to Marvel Snap, starting with 1 energy and increasing each turn. Combat is very reminiscent of Slay the Spire. Enemies reveal their intention, showing you what actions they'll take on their turn. They can block, attack, use debuffs, and summon creatures, much like the monsters in Slay the Spire. The design philosophy of these enemies also draws deeply from its inspiration, with each enemy presenting their own problem and challenges the player's builds. You can easily spot this inspiration in the Roll Torch. Roll Torch starts with 10,000 health and builds up his rage to deal heavy damage, but he will eventually flee after 5 turns. The twist is you can reduce his rage and lower his damage by dealing him damage. This enemy tests your team's ability to either dish out huge damage in a single turn or put up big blocks to survive his heavy attacks. Sound familiar? You can see a similar enemy design in Slay the Spire's The Transient, which deals increasing damage each turn but explodes after 5 turns. Similarly, his attacks are reduced by the damage he takes. That's not to say that Mino just straight up ripped off Mega Crit though. There's actually a lot more enemies here that, while following the same design tenets, are very much their own unique thing. Skitterers will constantly change their target to your character with the lowest block, so having a way to give all party members enough block is necessary to mitigate damage. Finsane stuns anyone who deals unblocked damage to it, rewarding patience and putting more thought into your turns. Shinobobs kills with rage while starting out with 18 dodges, rewarding teams with the ability to hit multiple times quickly. Much like Slay the Spire, these hallway fights are filled with enemies with basic behavior that tests the tools you have and your understanding of their playstyles to get away with minimal damage to your team. Elites take this a step further, introducing more complexity and a higher bar to jump over. Where it departs from Slay the Spire is the ability to actively choose which enemies you would like to fight. This system rewards game knowledge and decision making rather than preparing for every possible outcome. And then there comes the boss fights. So 2 in the demo, 1 in the prologue and the other in their standard masquerade mode. The Leviathan is a multi-phase boss with a permanent block that inflicts corruption on the party. It also features a unique mechanic where it removes all corruption and heals damage whenever its block is broken. You can tell a lot of love was put into these fights with small finishing touches, such as the boss's main body emerging from behind the waterfall after you beat down its claws in its initial phase. Characters are categorized into 3 roles. There's tank, attacker, and support. Gramps, a tank, has equips that can generate heavy blocks for the team such as Perfect Shell. He also has the ability to incite enemies to attack him exclusively through equips that grant guard, such as On Duty. Koa, an attacker, gives your team access to massive damage with guards such as Impale, which features piercing and a critical chance. Plus, with perfected Rage's Rage buff, you can scale damage by generating more per hit. On the other hand, Boop can support the team in many ways. He provides dodge for your entire team with massive evasion, boosts your team's critical hit, removes all enemy debuffs, and so on. You can see the potential variety this game offers in exploring the turn-based design and team-building aspect by comparing two characters in the same role. Co-op focuses on critical hit chance, starting with a passive ability that enhances this trait. He scales from hitting crits with rage, boosting critical damage and guaranteeing crits with lucky hits, and turning crits into piercing damage to bypass shields. On the other hand, Aquanaut focuses on hitting more frequently. Her passive ability, Hydro Cutter, deals stun damage for the first 3 equips refreshed. Refreshed is a mechanic that allows an equip to be used multiple times in a turn. She has equips like Dambreaker, which deals damage based on the number of times you refresh, Bouncing Shuriken, which hits 10 to 15 times in a turn, and Flourishing Combo, a 0 mana damage card that refreshes each time you refresh. Aquanaut's general strategy of delivering more hits synergizes with scaling buffs like Rage, which increases damage per hit, and debuffs such as Corruption, which amplifies the damage they take. Neither of the characters do entirely different things. They both share similar design spaces. Aquanaut has equips with Piercing, Rage, and critical hit chance, and Koa has equips that refresh and hit multiple times. The slight difference in their focus makes them feel distinctly unique. Overall, the game encourages players to really experiment with team composition, having potentially 7 characters in each role and the freedom to combine them however you want. For example, my boyfriend's preferred way of playing actually had 2 tanks, an attacker, and no support. Now that we have a better overview of the game, how do we figure out if this might be something for you? My boyfriend and I really enjoyed this, having logged a few hundred hours in games such as Slay the Spire, Marvel Snap, Temtem, Pokemon, and Duelist. So players who are into these titles might find something for them to enjoy here. As we played, we were also reminded of Darkest Dungeon, even though the core gameplay is quite different. Since the demo is free, it's definitely worth a shot for DD lovers. The game is quite intuitive and easy to get into even for a budding gamer like me, so we think players with less experience in turn-based games and card games will still be able to enjoy this despite these genres typically catering to a more hardcore audience. Overall, we believe the game is going to be worth trying for anyone who likes turn-based combat, high-skill decision-based games, roguelites, or are into theory crafting builds and party compositions. If you're interested, the demo is available right now and free to try. It showcases the prologue and the master raid mode featuring 6 playable characters. The developers are also planning on a campaign mode which will be more story-driven and a bit more static compared to the roguelite experience of Master Raid. Early access is planned to be for early November, and the developers are very active on Discord. We'll drop the links to their store page and socials down in the description. We are really excited about this one and hope it succeeds. That wraps up our review. This is actually our first video. Our goal for this channel is to create content that gives our viewers a better idea of less popular games we come across that we are passionate about and help them get the recognition they deserve. With this in mind, we aim to be as informative about the game as possible to help wiki gamers who already know all about the big releases find games that might interest them. To help us with this, please tell us what you want to see covered in these videos and what we could improve to help with your game discovery journey. If you found this video helpful, consider giving us a like and subscribe. We're constantly in the search for less known exciting games, so feel free to leave your recommendations in the comments down below. That's all for today. See you next time!